I know it's late. I usually do them on Saturday night, don't I? But I've started getting to bed early because I've had health warning, and diabetes, cholesterol, all basic fat bastard stuff, not like sugar in my tea anymore. So I'm down to 1 brew a day. Basically, adult fun sucked out of life. Sort of makes sense that I'm a Wednesday fan, really, I suppose. Yeah, so no video because I've gone to bed early because if I stay downstairs, I'd just eat, snack, go to the fridge, roll a lump of cheese up in a bit of ham while kettle's boiling, sit stuffing biscuits out on back watching stars. That's got to go. Unfortunately, that meant I've had to spend this morning, Sunday, the day of relaxation, going through Wednesday's defeat at Birmingham City. Birmingham 2, Wednesday 1. Wednesday travelled to St Andrews and made several changes, some of them forced upon him. Callum Patterson suspended, of course. Deshaun Bernard has been away with Jamaica, and on the eve of the game, John Buckley, who I gather had been training all week to play in this match, sadly lost his nan, so he wasn't available to play. Best wishes and condolences to him. So a mixed up and changed Wednesday side. 5 changes for Wednesday from the defeat to Millwall. Out went Patterson, who was suspended. Johnson, Gassama, Bernard and Fletcher. Bernard obviously involved international duty for Jamaica. In came Akinfenmayo, Will Volks, Michael Heckway, Josh Windass and Malik Wilkes. So Wednesday lined up with a sort of 4-3-3 come 4-2-3-1. Dawson in goal, back for Iofa, Heckway, Diaby and Femayo. Byers and Volks in midfield with Barry Bannon. Masaba and Wilkes on the flanks and Josh Windass at centre forward. The home team, Wayne Rooney, still looking for his first win as Birmingham manager. Bit of a shock appointment that. I think Eustace were doing a decent job. Birmingham City was a sort of 4-2-3-1 come 4-4-2. A lot of times it was a 4-2-4. Ruddy in goal, back four, Laird, Awu, Sanderson, Buchanan, Miyoshi, Bialik, Bakuna and Dembele across the middle, and Stansfield supporting Oliver Burke at centre forward. I start most weeks by saying Wednesday started quite brightly. But Wednesday did start quite brightly. It was a scrappy game, neither team keeping quality possession at football, but I thought Wednesday what brighter starters had at two teams. You could tell they were both on bad runs of form. But then Byers had a shot after about 5 minutes. Volks put a ball into him that were well blocked by their big number 5. And I thought, if we can get early goal here, Frenetic. It was a frenetic start. Malik Wilkes recalled to starting lineup. We've not really seen much of him since he's come from Hull. Although last season, for all his sporadic appearances, his assists and goals record weren't actually too bad, but he's never particularly been fully fit. But he looked quite sharp for that first 20 minutes or so, and at one bit, he's raced probably 30 yards across pitch and slide tackled their goalkeeper. Done well, kept balling, turned inside and drilled a shot into the side netting, and I thought, maybe we're going to start seeing a little bit from him. It's this playing out from back thing, innit? Every team's trying to do it. Birmingham are trying to do it. We try and do it, and I suppose if you've got likes of John Stones and Diaz at centre half, you can do it. And I get the argument, you don't want to give away possession at ball. But you're not going to keep ball for 90 minutes of a football match, are you? You're going to give it away at some stage. Just give it away in over half a pitch. So Birmingham were doing it. Wednesday were pressing them, like Wilkes did in that situation. Birmingham were trying to put a bit of a squeeze on us. Ironically, I thought probably Birmingham's best opportunities in first half come when Wednesday put a squeeze on them. Ruddy was under pressure and he just, twatted it down pitch. And because Wednesday were playing quite an high line, Burke probably 2 or 3 times nearly got him behind, and he's pretty rapid. One took an awkward bounce for him. One, Diaby managed to get in there and get a foot in. And another one, it just sort of ricocheted up and hit him in bollocks and made it run away from him. But for all everybody's wanting to play out front back, they look biggest threat from a ball ever. And I thought we did too. That Bacuna, it was a warning shot of what would come later, weren't it? They got a corner. I often headed it out, and that Bacuna, he twatted an half volley that went wide, but as I said, sort of premonition of what would to come later. Good little bit of play with Bannon and Wilkes about half an hour in. For me, I would done well to win ball. He would in at left back. I don't think he's a left back, but I thought he had a decent-ish game. Lovely ball in from Wilkes. Byers made a cracking run from midfield, got shot, and again, their big number 5. Two vital blocks he's made from Byers in first half an hour at game, where both shots would have been on target as well. So good defending from him, but decent play from Wednesday. 30 minutes, Firmino again, good block, gets Wilkes away, and he had a very lively opening 20 minutes, Wilkes, he really did. Seen a few things, Twitter, I hope he never plays for the club again, the bastard. I don't think it's Malik Wilkes' fault we lost that game yesterday, I really don't. You know, he did fade hugely, but first opening 20 minutes I thought he played well. Lovely little ball in for Windass, and Windass has timed his run to perfection, got in between two players. First touch lets him down. I think he's trying to nudge it on forward onto his left foot so he can get a strike at it. He actually stops it dead. It sort of gets underneath him, and they call it simulation, don't it? He's got a yellow card for simulation. It's just a bloody dive, and it's a daft one. I think if he takes control of it, there's a chance he gets fouled for proper, if you know what I mean. But yeah, booked and fully deserved. Like I said, frenetic start to game, and then I thought Wednesday would have it better of it. You know, both teams poor on ball, but of the openings, I thought Wednesday had the better ones. Thought their defenders defended well, the two set of halves especially. But we just looked susceptible with that really high line that they were playing, and that's the danger when you're pressing high like that. One weak link in chain, one person don't go to their man or get in their position, you're caught out. And they had a chance, it was a through ball, that Dembele would away. I tell you what, I'd like to see it again because I thought he would on. But flag goes up and it sort of gets us out of jail. 34 minutes, a really good block from Firmino again. I don't think he's left back, but I thought he had a solid enough game until being beaten for second goal. But really good block, gets Bannon in, and Bannon, one little touch, head up, he's already seen it run, curves it round for Windass. Again, perfectly timed run twice. He's made a really good run between two defenders, riding behind him. All goal in front of it. He just needs guiding in, and for me, that's got to go down as a sitter. I'm afraid it's got to go down as a sitter. And I'm looking at this stage, and I'm thinking Wednesday should be at least a goal to good. At least a goal to good, possibly two. But we just cannot take our chances. And that's 11. We had a goal now for Windass, going back to winning at Wembley. And that's got to be 1-0 Wednesday. It's got to be. Derby made a brilliant block. They'd sort of launched a counter-attack on the right side. Dembele put afterburners on. He were putting across Stansfield within acres of space, totally unmarked. Really poor defending from Wednesday, but Diaby, to be fair to him, got in, managed to get a really good block on cross. But Wednesday looked at 6s and 7s at times when they were countering us at pace, and they'd got a lot of pace. Something we are sadly short of. Wednesday take lead, and oh God, I've been saying for a couple of, if Wednesday can take lead, if we've got something to defend, I think it'll just lift everybody. George Byers fouled on edge of box, and I think it was a particularly bad foul, to be honest with you, but free kick nevertheless. Windass steps up. We know he's got a decent strike in him from set pieces. To be honest, I'd probably have him taking all of them because I don't like these floaty crosses that we're putting. But cracking free kick, hits the post. George Byers alive to it. I talked the other week when I think it was Millwall's third or fourth goal. defenders not being alive. Same thing today with Birmingham. Last time I had it with Wednesday's defenders, flat-footed. Their lads been aware to it and got in there. By same, strikes come in. Never presume keeper's got it. He didn't presume. Got in there, took rebound away. 1-0 Wednesday, and you're thinking, right, if we can get in at break, get some fluids on, have a bit of a fucking breather, bit of a pep talk, get out for the second half, we'll be all right. And then, I don't like the phrase, but it is typical Wednesday, we concede an injury time. Corner, sort of half-headed out, half-booted out, it sort of hits two players on the way out. That Bakuna's just lurking on edge of the box. Nobody's picked him up, by the way. If absolutely flashes it in, it's just bounced up, sat for him, gets his knee above it, absolutely twats it. I've seen a lot of blame for Dawson with this one. Oh, should be in the middle of his goal. Should he? When ball's on the right hand side of your box, so you stood in the middle of your goal. I mean, he got bollocked the other week for letting Smitten up near post because ball was down that right hand corner at box. So what? I don't know. Takes a deflection, goes back into the middle of the goal. But I mean, there's a big crowd scene in there. You can't see through them, and when you watch it, I can't put the footage in because I keep getting copyright strikes. But just as it's popping out, he takes a step to the left to try and look round the group of bodies. Comes in, takes a deflection off somebody's back, goes back. I think we're putting him under a microscope, and understandably so, because we keep losing games. And when you lose games, everybody, why we're losing. And of course, a goalkeeper is an easy target when you're not winning games. Although I'm surprised some people don't blame Joey Pelopessi for it, because so it's the same few names that get blamed for everything in the world, isn't it? World War II, Liam Palmer's fault. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, second half, Birmingham come out really get at us. It's almost a 4-2-4 for the first 15-20 minutes. They're really going at us. I thought Wednesday probably edged better at first half in terms of chances and using ball better. But after break it with Birmingham, which is sort of backed up with stats at game. The interesting thing, if you look here, is that Wednesday have spells in first half, obviously. But they look at second half. Look at Birmingham when they have their spells. When they have their spells, they scored a goal. But Wednesday have their spells, we're not scoring goals. Yeah, they're really pushing on to us. They're getting at us through midfield. The lad on the right side, Miyoshi, I like the look of him. Stansfield breaks cleared, actually gets threaded. We're really good, but he's just about to pull trigger, and it's probably going to be a goal. And Diaby, to be fair to him, gets across, fantastic block, puts it out for the corner, but it's consistent pressure for them, and obviously they're the struggling side for form as well, but they'd really got bit between teeth. Wednesday couldn't sort of get in gear. Wilkes faded. I thought he was bright opening half an hour. Masaba, he'd had no change out of that Buchanan all afternoon. He was a good player, him actually, their left back. I like the look of him a lot. But second half, Buchanan down left and Baird down right hand side, both their fullbacks pushing on at will, really pinning sort of Wilkes and Masaba back in. And Wednesday didn't really sort of come alive until Danny Rull made a double change. Brought Marvin Johnson onto left at front three and Gassama onto right. Gassama had some flashes. We've seen bits of this from him before. Comes out, looked a bit lost in Millwall game. Some real good flashes. Beats a man, and he actually, for the first time in probably 90 minutes, actually gave Buchanan something to think about and actually pinned him back for 5-10 minutes because he was getting forward at will before that. Really good attacking left full back. But again, we couldn't get a break. Final ball, final pass, decision making in last third. And that comes with pressure. That comes with pressure because we're not scoring enough goals, and the lads are more than well aware of that, and that'll be getting into their heads. Second half they started really bright. We edged back into it, and then Of course, they scored again, and that's that, really. It's curtains. It starts hard. Ball out to right hand side. It's played down channel at left back position. But unfortunately, it's in middle where the problem is. Big Dom Iorfa, he's a couple of yards behind everybody else, and he's playing everybody on side. And I'm gutted for him. I'm good for everybody who's having to watch and take part in this season, to be honest with you. But I'm gutted for him because other than that, I thought Dominic Iorfa had a fantastic match. I really did. He's played right full-back. It's not greatest passer or crossed up ball, but I thought he had a really solid game, offered himself going forward. And when the ball was in the midfield, one of their lads made a run and Dom went with him. That ball didn't come, it went out other side, and when it went out other side, he was still deep, he'd still gone with that lad, and he's playing everyone on across the line. Square ball into box Wednesday at 6s and 7s. I think it's 4 against 3 in there. Again, Dawson's took an hammer in for this one. Can he do better? Yeah, on this one he can. The first one I'm not so sure. But this one he can do better. He saves the shot. He actually does well to save the shot because it's close range. It's trotted at him. But it's that thing, innit? If you can't hold it, palm it away as far away as you can, wide at goal, wide at post. But he palms it, it falls back in danger area. Kid does nice footwork, to be fair, goes past Dawson and Diaby, I think it is, slots it home, but he's got to push that one away. He's got to push that one away, really. But the fact is, whether he pushes it away or not, we were always conceding a goal as soon as he got to this position. I mean, if James don't smash it himself, he's got this kid out 8 wide, completely unmarked. That was always going to be a goal from that position. And that was that, really. Game over. Dawson come up for a corner and what have you. Twice in 2 weeks we're doing, but I think, what is it? 13 defeats from 17. You see difference today, Look at their left back, that Buchanan, quality young player. Bacuna in middle, bit sloppy with ball, but look what he's capable of. And I don't think Birmingham are a great side. I think it just shows what a good job Eustace were doing. Really, he got them right up there in 6. Wednesday. I still do think we can do it. I know I'm a lunatic. I do, but what it needs Wednesday to be absolutely on top of the game every single week now, played to absolute maximum potential, on other teams to have a bad day. Can you do that over however many games left, 20 odd games left? No, because we're showing in flashes we can't. Lapses of concentration against Millwall, lapses yesterday. You can't have them lapses. And we don't score enough goals. I like the players we've got. We don't score enough goals. It's as simple as that. Table don't lie. I mean, when you look at it, the goals against isn't too bad. 29 goals against, but QPR 28, Rotherham 33, Huddersfield 29, even Coventry 21. It's not too bad, but it's there. 8 goals in 17 games. Minus 21 goal difference. That's what's going to kill us. It's what nearly killed us last January when we didn't strengthen then, and it's what's killed us in summer by not getting in a championship goal scorer. So Birmingham 2, Wednesday 1. Could the manager have done more? Well, we're nitpicking, aren't we? Well, he should put Vasquez in, or he should put Kidd in. He's got us in games. He's got us creating chances, which is something that we didn't do before. It was always going to be a tough season, a massive ask. Failure to do decent business in summer. Failure to do decent business last January, in actual fact. Is it swapping, deck chairs on Titanic at this stage? I think there is an element of that. We're creating within games, as the stats prove. But the fact is, we couldn't finish his dinner. It's as simple as that. Really is as simple as that. Right. I'm off for a brew with no sugar in it and a celery stick. Work tomorrow.